Hello, today is on 15th, guess 15th April 2024, and right now I'm from the library, and I'm so tired. I'm just so much worn out about, and I've just been trying to figure out where I can get the voice for the motivational videos. It's quite tiring. Each website, each AI has its own disadvantage. And the first one is 11 Labs IO. I guess it's actually the main one that is used for AI voiceovers and text to speech. And it's quite frustrating because they are just giving me this error that my IP has detected many accounts in one. I don't know, they just have their own issues, and I'm so much tired about it. How I wish I could just make my own voice AI and just use it accordingly, because they say that when you can't get it, make it. mm? But all in all, just have to survive. I'll find that voice, I'll go back to the library and figure out where I can get one. I've also used YouTube to find out where I can get. I specifically want deep deep voice AI, so that I can do my videos. I guess those deep videos have this impactful, I guess, some sense of deepness and emotional impact. Because I really do not want to go for a lady, because the impact it will make when a lady speaks, and the impact that a man, a deep voice, it will make, is much difference between the two. Because automatically, obviously it's just automatic, only that I do not want to go into that direction. And so far I've garnered about, how many views the last, is it the last video? Last time I checked, it was about 500 views. um, Luckily I got one subscriber from that video, and I'm glad that happened. At least one subscriber and almost 2 likes. Yes, but that's an upgrade for myself. I'm just proud, and I'm glad that I'm progressing well. But so far, actually for this week I don't have any exam, so I've been given a leeway to just dig deeper and find that voice that I really need. And I just hope the website is permanent, it's for long term, because I really need that. mm. They say that the roots are bitter, but the fruits are very sweet, and it takes, actually think about it, and it really makes sense about, you must work hard before you start to work smart. You must give in the first momentum before something works for you, and this has happened multiple times in my life. And a good example that I can give is there was this day I was in high school, and usually when you're choosing these subjects in high school, usually have about, is it 10 or 11 subjects to initially at first at the first year, that is Form 1, usually have about 10 or 11 subjects. And when you think about, okay, and when you reach, is it the second year, it's called Form 2, yes, usually about in the midterm or the second term, you choose your subjects, and from there on you move to a senior to take you start to take about 8 subjects. Is it 8? I'm not sure about that, but most of the people chose 3 sciences in the school that I was in, and it's quite interesting of how we chose 3 sciences. And yes, you are choosing 3 sciences, but mentally you are there for 2. People liked physics and mathematics, so physics was like a cult that people used to, I guess it was like it was just something. Physics was loved by many people, but biology is where they drew the line. Chemistry was a must, so everyone had no option to do that. You had to pass. You had either to pass or, no, or to pass. And that was the school for me. And the interesting part is that as people chose those 3 sciences, I decided, okay, I'll take these 3 sciences, but I'll just see people have moved with the 2, that is physics and chemistry, to be as their stronghold and their strong points. I decided I'll go now with biology, chemistry, and I was quite right in my decision, in my choice, because it came to play a very big role in my studies and how I view things. I found out that later, like a year later, people didn't like that subject at all, and this when I decided, me, I'm giving my all. Biology will be now my subject, and from there on, I started to pass. Well, other people are failing, you are there passing. People are having okay, and I'll give an example. This day that the people got D grades and C. I guess the first one had okay, not the first one, but the person who followed me had about a C, and me, I'm there with my, is it B plus, in my whole world, and people are just okay. By then I was not shining, but I had a good grade anyway. But the disparity between the first student and the second one was far much by so many there's much disparity between the first student, that was me, and the second one. And this one I realized, kumbe efforts can give results. That's when I knew I really do have a passion in this thing, and I worked so hard so that I can move my grades from that B minus to an A, and I can attest to that, because I really had to work hard so that I can get the biology content. And I'm even surprised until now that I really have the content with me, the whole syllabus of Form 1 to Form 4 of the high school, because I gave in the work. I started the momentum. I worked hard before I started now to work smart. And I can just give an insight of how a general idea of how I decided I did things. So I figured out that most of the questions come from either the first form or the second form, something like that, but mostly from the second one. So I decided to now I'm in second year, not in second year but form 2 by then. I decided to go back, take a form 1 textbook, read it from page 1 to the last page, not missing any details, and now start taking notes. By that time I had figured out that I need to compile all the subject together. So I decided, you know what, let me buy this big book, this A4 book that has many pages, about, is it 500 pages or thereabouts? And say each subject will have each subject will have its own section. And I started investing slowly by slowly. By 1 month, or let's say 2 months, I had okay, let's say 1 month. 1 month I had finished doing the notes and reading the first book, that is Form 1. It is usually called KLB, Kenya Literature Bureau book, biology book, and I did it. Now I moved on to the second form. Took the same KLB, because most of the content is found in KLBs. If you just understand how KLB is structured, read it, understand it, and analyze it, you realize that you can pass almost all the exam questions that are there in high school. So I continued and did the third book, that is it's called what? It's called Form 3 book. I did it and finished there. And now, see, I've read all the 3 books, that is Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. I decided to, you know what, let me just take this a notch higher. I want to make sure that I've understood the questions that no, actually the content that I've just read and made notes. Okay, cool. By that time, there were these teachers who are offering biology textbooks and who are offering revision materials. By then I decided, now let me just psych up and find this courage and approach that teacher. By then it was a she. I've just used it and she as the same sentence. Anyway, my point is, I decided to approach her and tell her I need this revision materials. And the teacher had no much, the people have, these teachers are very generous. They want their people to their students to pass. So she gives me this green book. I remember very well, it was a green book, and it was talking about, is it okay, it had many questions in that book. So I decided, okay, let me take several. By then I remember that book had KCSE questions, and also other questions, related questions, and exams were approaching. This by the end of year, my Form 2 second year. and I decided to go through the questions about 3 days before the exam. I read until now I feel wow, I've really read, and I filled those gaps. And my formula was it was quite easy. It was quite an easy let's say technique that I used. I decided, okay, I'll be okay. The book had 2 sections: the actual question part and the answers part. I decided, you know what? Okay, I'll try to answer these questions without the answers referring to the answers at the back of the book. So this is what happened. I could literally write the answers down. I'm my own student and my own teacher, marking for myself. So I look for those questions, I write the answers for them. Just as how I could, based now on the content that I had caught, I'm directly referring to caught. I'm directly translating the content from Kiswahili to English. It's how we say it. Unashika questions, then una answer. So that's all was my formula. After answering the questions, and I feel I have reached somewhere. Now I have answered the questions that I've tackled almost all the units that I had, or topics. I decide to go to the back of the book and check the answers, and I mark for myself, noting where I have gone wrong, the answers that I'm giving, how I'm approaching the questions. And from there I realized, my guy, I had not even read about it. You are the one who read, but based on the answers that are being confirmed from the back of the book, I've really not read. I've not read anything. So I decided, you know what, okay, I've been reading, yes, but now I've been reading generally. I do not go to specifics, like I'm not really understanding what I'm reading about. I decided, you know what, okay, fine, I've noted my weak points. So I'll do this. I'll go question by question. In each questions that I've answered, I'll go see I know where the topic comes from. I'll go read in that section very perfectly and understand it very deeply, such that I'll not forget. I'll understand deeply about what I'm saying. So I decided, okay, fine, let me do that. I know it's hard work, and the work is very, very, very much actually. It's quite a ton of work that you can do, and I had no problem with that. Me, I'm going with, if these people are going with this, me, I'm going with the other one. And it's something that it's a personality that I have, that many people choose to do a certain subject or certain thing. May choose to go in the opposite direction, where no people are choosing it, and that's me for you. But I just like that personality. Most of the time I found out that I am right, and this anyway, I'll talk about it later. So I do that for about 3 days prior to the exam, and guess what happened? The exam came, and I literally had how can we say, swiftly, I literally flew. The content, usually the exam goes for about 2 hours. Imagine I did that nini for 1 hour, because the content was just flowing, and I was aware of what the questions are asking. And to my surprise, I don't know, to my surprise, I moved when the results came days later, when we were given the papers back when they were marked. Guess what? I had moved from my I had gotten by that time 28 marks to 64 marks. That was like a B. Was it? Yeah, a B. Yeah, a B plain, I guess so. And from there I knew, my guy, my hard work has my alarm is on. Yeah, put on off the alarm. So that is what happened. I got the marks and I was very happy. I was very proud because the few work that I had done, the huge amount of work that I had done in 2 months, now literally paid off. And I knew now I need to concentrate my energy now on these things. But now I'm this kind of person. I'll not distribute that on all subjects. Me, I'm only good at something and I'll concentrate on that. And that is one thing that I've noted. If I'm usually good at something, I'll tend to fall on that area and perfect it. And in as much as I do that, I find out that I always balance the areas that are there. That is one thing that I've come to note. And from that point, I kept working on myself. And since I had worked so hard, I needed now to change the strategy. See, I had done most of the work, most of the reading work. Now I needed now to do the soft work, to work smart. And working smart for this case meant that I had to now quit reading for a while and start looking for questions in other revision materials. And that's what I did next. I started to look for there's this book called it usually consisted of many past papers that were of the KCSE national examination. They usually called, I don't know, I just can't remember the name. Man, how am I forgetting this book? Oh, my bad. I've just forgotten the name. And the way I used to remember it. It's called what? Not a finder. It's called. I just can't remember the name. It's usually common. It is made up of past papers that are KCSE. Anyway, that book and many other books, I started looking for questions. I started to dig in deeper. I started to dig like literally deeper. I started to look for hard questions that I normally fear. Usually, when you read, you have those points, those subjects, those areas where you feel wow. I really need to read here. So I needed to find the questions, the hard questions, so that I can answer them and then refer to the KLB and other revision materials. By that time I had no internet so that I can access it. So I had literally to go through many books so that I can find the right content. And it reached a point where I could tell this book is not very good for revision. This book is not really good for for reading. This book doesn't have the right content. Like, I just became the subject itself, and right now I can tell which book is. Like, it reached a point that I became a pro at finding content and finding the right revision materials. And it reached a point that I just had, you see, that belief that you must instill in yourself. That one got in me automatically, and this when I started to feel pride. Started to feel good, but actually to feel proud of the work that I had done and how I was just going about it. And it's quite an interesting journey that I went through. It was an 1 year process in which I had to adapt. I had to change my sleeping patterns, sleep for less hours, just working on that one subject. Okay, not one subject. Those they were. I was working on chemistry and biology, but mostly was biology, so that it can improve my grade. Since I was not a maths person, and I'm not to this date, I'm not that mathematical. I find it, and the irony is, I used to love maths when I was in primary school, but that one was a first one because I knew I had to pass so that I can go to a good high school. But when I reached high school, I just the moment I just reduced, and I had to work on that biology and chemistry so that I'm just not left somewhere when people are passing. You usually feel bad when your friends, the friends that you relate with, find that they are on top. By then, our school was very competitive, very very competitive, and if you could just make it in the top, that you knew, I've done. I'm just a bright person, and even if KCSE would come, Kenya Certificate of Secondary Examination could come, I can pass and go to the university. By that time, you are in Form 3 and you are seeing very well, you can go to the university comfortably. So you have to work hard, you have to put in the work so that you can pass. And I can say the work paid off. Started appearing in top 30s. There was a time that I reached top 20s. I was number 18, and I'm glad that that taught me a lesson to always start something from scratch and always work hard before working smart. And that's one thing that people don't see. At work smart. What does work smart mean? No, you must work hard before you work smart. And after constantly working on myself for maybe 1 year, 2 years, I started to get those grades that you are considered unreachable. I broke the ice. I was literally the first person to get an A in my class for an A in biology, by the way. And people are even amazed of how I just came into that position. But they didn't understand that it really took a lot of hard work to just reach there. Very much, let's say, sacrifices that I made. They forget about that, and they were literally asking, by the way, I just how do you read? And I tell them, just like you, you just have to work, but there you don't have to explain everything, because there are things that you cannot explain. You feel like, yo, if I start telling you the stories, I'll just bore you. and will just give up. But I simply said I just worked. I just read like you. Mm? The way you read, you people, that's how I read, and that's it. That's what I do. There's nothing extra. There's nothing extraordinary. There's nothing out of the blues that I do. This everything that you do, I do. I'm a normal student, just like you. I speak like you. I think like you. But here comes the difference. You just have to work on yourself so that you can achieve that one thing. And for me currently, I'm working on these motivational videos, and I'll find that right voice that I'll be using. And if I like one, something will just work out on itself. I'll find that voice. Maybe I'll find a person who is in AI who can make an AI voice, and we can partner with him or she. Him or her, yeah, him or her. And the things will just align with themselves. And am I the only one who just notes, who just observes that when you want to do something which is okay to in that time very challenging, very somehow difficult, you somehow still things start to align, things start to just fall in place. When you just have the zeal to do that one thing, things just start working out for themselves, and you have an easy time. And that is after you do a little hard work. From there on, I guess, I don't know, is it someone's I just don't know. I guess the attitude of something when doing something attracts some other things, other positive, other things of the kind that are positive, and whatever aim you have, you are going to achieve it through that process of identifying what the process and how to achieve it. And to this date, I still use this formula. Start small, think big, start small, and start to work hard. After a while, start to figuring out the smart techniques that you can integrate in the process, and it works out. And yeah, wow, I've spoke for 33 minutes. I actually had a subject in mind, but I guess that is something that I actually did not have planned to talk much. But nowadays I'm just finding out that I have something to talk about, and things just bring themselves out. I'm just liking the vibe. Maybe I have this talent, okay, which I'm trying to unravel. Let's see, that is why I started doing these videos. But I'm glad it's paying off. I decided something, and things are flowing. I guess that's it for today. Today I don't have much to talk about. Right now I'm in the library right now, so I'm planning to go at home. It looks that it might rain today, so I go home. I feel like taking a small break, and usually I drop my bag in my room, and then come back with my laptop in a carrier bag, because the last semester my bag was stolen. Yeah, because we usually put bags on the entrance of the library, So my last semester, things got a little messy, and my bag was stolen. So I have to survive. I do not want to lose this other bag. Um, this other bag, because I really worked hard to earn it, to buy it. I had really to sweat. And it will really pain me to just to lose it because I'm careless. But nowadays I'm careless. Okay. By the way, I'm planning to buy this briefcase that can last for long, and I have found out that they go for about $20 on these shopping sites, especially these international sites such as I've not really looked at Amazon, but I've looked at AliExpress. Is it Temu or something? Cannot remember the name of the site. It's from China. The bags are usually going for $20, and here in Kenya it's about 3 or 4,000 Kenyan shillings. It's about $40, and at this time I do not have the money, but I'll buy it very soon. So that usually when you enter the library, these bags are usually allowed to get in. Those type of briefcases, not a briefcase. It's actually looks like a briefcase, but it's not a briefcase. It's something that is hung on the shoulder here. That is how it works. And yeah, I'm planning to buy one so that it can even take me to 20 years before I buy another one. I just want to buy another a good quality. And one thing about me is I buy quality things, so that I do not want to buy those cheap ones. For me, I value this. Is it a saying or something? Here in Africa, in Kenya, we'll call it methali. That cheap is expensive. For me, it actually is automatic in my system. I usually buy quality things, rather than buying cheap things. I'm an expensive person. I know the value behind things. So I buy that quality one. It takes me for about 20-30 years, or I can even my kids can inherit that bag, and I'll be telling them that this bag I bought it anyway. The point is they can inherit that from me, and they'll continue with their lives. And that's it. It's now 38 minutes. I don't have much today to talk about today, and I don't know how that topic came about. It's just that I'm tired that it came about. I had quite an interesting story, but I'll talk about it is it tomorrow? Yeah, or another day. I actually have this many thoughts that I have, and it's interesting. And yeah, that's the diary for today. Adios.